Sairam, Shri Sai Satcharitra, chapter 5, page number 29. The heading of the paragraph is The Pseudo Guru Jawahar Ali. About 5 years after above mentioned a wrestling bout, the previous paragraph is talking about the wrestling bout. One fakir from Ahmednagar by name Jawahar Ali came to Rahata with his disciples and stayed in Bakhal, a spacious room near Veerabhadra temple. The fakir was learned, could repeat the whole Quran, and had a sweet tongue. Many religious and devout people of the village came to him and began to respect him. With the help of the people, he started to build a Eidgah, a walled enclosure in which Mohammedans pray on Eid day, day of the festival, near the Veerabhadra temple. There was some quarrel about this affair, and on account of which Jawahar Ali had to leave Rahata. Then he came to Shirdi and lived in the masjid with Baba. People were captured by his sweet talk, and he began to call Baba his disciple. Baba did not object and consented to be his disciple or the Chela. Then both Guru and Chela decided to return to Rahata and live there. Then both Guru and Chela decided to return to Rahata and live there. Sorry. The Guru, the teacher, never knew his disciple's worth. But the disciple knew the shortcomings of the Guru. Still, he never disrespected him, observing carefully his duties. He even served the master in various ways. They used to come to Shirdi off and on, but their main stay was in Rahata. The loving devotees of Baba in Shirdi did not like that Baba should stay away from them in Rahata. So they went in deputation to bring Baba back to Shirdi. When they met Baba near the Eidgah and told him the purpose of which they came, Baba said to them that the fakir was an angry, ill-tempered person. He would not leave him and that they should better go back to Shirdi without him before the fakir returned. While they were thus talking, the fakir turned up and was very angry with them for trying to take away his disciple. There was some hot discussion and altercation, and it was finally decided that both the Guru and the Chela being Shri Sai Satcharitra, should return to Shirdi. And so they returned and lived in Shirdi. But after a few days, the Guru was tested by Devidas and he was found wanting. 12 years before Baba arrived in Shirdi with a marriage party, this Devidas, aged about 10 or 11, came to Shirdi and lived in Maruti temple. Devidas had fine features and brilliant eyes, and he was dispassion incarnate and a dhyani. Many people, namely Tatya Kote, Kashinath, and others, regarded him as their guru. They brought Jawahar Ali in his presence, and in the discussion that followed, Jawahar was worsted and fled from Shirdi. He went and stayed in Bijapur and returned after many years to Shirdi and prostrated himself before Sai Baba. The delusion that he was Guru and Sai Baba his Chela was cleared away and he repented. Sai Baba treated him with respect. In this case, Baba showed by his conduct how one should get rid of egoism and do the duties of a disciple to attain the highest end, which is self realization. This story is told here according to the version given by Mahalasapati, a great devotee of Baba. In the next chapter, the Ramnavami festival, the masjid, its former condition and later improvement in it, etc., will be described now. It's a fantastic story. The pseudo Guru Jawahar Ali. And there is lot more, not much more, lot more to this particular story. How could Baba accept an impostor as a guru and serve him as a chela? This is a question. A lot of people get perturbed, particularly on two subjects. One, why did Baba have to participate in a wrestling bout? Second, this pseudo guru Jawahar Ali. And this story is narrated by Bhagat Mahalasapati, the chief priest of Kandoba temple and priest of Shri Sai as well. Now we have to take this with a pinch of salt or a load of salt or whatever. But the history to this particular person or this incident goes back to previous birth of Sri Sai. I beg for your attention. This is a very delicate information which is not in the public domain. But this is what happened. Sri Sai previous birth was Santa Kabir Das. Baba's previous birth was that of Kabira from Varanasi. The Datta Sampradaya, which begins from Dattatreya, Datta Sampradaya, Avadhuta Sampradaya, which are one and the same. When it starts spreading everywhere, Dattatreya, after disintegrating into 5 elements in Girnar, Gujarat, he starts appearing in multiple forms, multiple names. Datta Tattva has multiple verticals. When Dattatreya starts displaying himself, rather than calling or saying or stating that he took births in different names and forms, I would say displayed himself in multiple ways, under multiple names, forms. One of them was that of Santa Kabir Das. Now, how we say that Dattatreya's Ansha or Purna avatar is Santa Kabir Das. Why do we say that? What was Kabir Das's life? Birth unknown, biological parents unknown. He was found near a well by a weaver community lady, a lady from the weaver community called Nima, and her husband being Niru. Niru and Nima, Muslims. They took this boy, a baby. People say he just appeared. So they raised him. They gave the name Kabir. Kabir means great. So they gave him the name Santa Kabira, whatever. He was a weaver, a simple villager weaver of Varanasi. That's it. Nothing great. Why he became great? What made him great? Is because of his radical thoughts. Extremely radical. Very different than all the masters. Santa Kabir Das was known for rejecting all the religions. He used to reject and condemn the practices of Islam if people thought he was a Muslim. He used to reject and condemn the practices of Hinduism, which was based on Puranas those days. He used to just reject. He used to abuse. Imagine those days when the reins of power was in the hands of Mughals or, the powerful kings or whatever. He never cared. He was so radical. All the traits of Dattatreya, all the traits of Avadhutas. He never bothered, but he used to condemn everything. He was rejecting everything. Very radical thinker, very radical spiritual master. How spiritual he was we can understand at his demise. When he shed the body, as always, Hindus said that he is a Hindu, Muslims said that he is a Muslim, and then they put the body on a pedestal or on a platform, and they had covered the body with a cloth, not kafan, but a plain white cloth. When the fight was going on, an argument was going on that we need the word to do it according to Islamic tradition, and when Hindus said that we also bury only the saints, of course, but we do it in our tradition, and when they looked back and removed the cloth, the body had turned into flower. It had turned into flowers. So half the flowers Muslims took, half the flowers Hindus took. That is how shallow the religious believers were. Sant Kabir Das, who fought against all the religions, was again to claim his body, religions fought. However, that's one truth. That is one part of the story. So, Sant Kabir Das's thoughts were always radical. He had one servant. He lived long. Biologically, he lived long. He had a servant. That servant was a Muslim. His assistant, associate, fellow weaver, who used to tend to all the works and needs and necessities of Sant Kabir Das, was attended to by this Muslim follower, servant, caregiver, or whatever. And he was very religious. He always used to argue with Kabir. He used to say, no, you're wrong. Islam is great. This is the best. This is the way it is. It is the word of God. It's a book of God. It is scriptures. It is descended from the heavens, blah, blah, blah. He went on and always used to fight with him. Despite that, Kabir never used to allow anybody near him to stay with him or live with him. No, he never used to do that. Only exception was made for this man because despite all these things, he showed the fine example of a disciple. He disagreed with Kabir, but he served Kabir like a disciple would serve the master. He was extremely egoistic, the servant. He had all his, what do you call, the vices, but his service to Kabira was unquestioned. He was a perfect disciple. So that is when Sant Kabir Das tells him, how do I pay you back? You always fight with me. You always argue with me. You always disagree with me. You also say that I'll go to Jahannam, not Jannat, Jahannam. That is the hell for the way I treat the religion. I don't know what to do. You have cursed me, yet you have served me. So then he says, some birth I will pay you back. I will serve you back. Sant Kabir Das tells this. That Muslim fakir or the servant or whoever. He says, there is no other birth. You won't know. What are you talking? I'll go to heaven. You'll go to hell. There is no other birth. That is when Sant Kabir Das says, you will see. You will see. And then Sant Kabir Das sheds the body. After which, Sant Kabir Das, similar story as Sri Sai Satcharitra, no origin is found. No, we don't know who his biological parents were. He just appears under the neem tree in Shirdi at the age of 15, 16. And again, he vanishes. He comes back at the age of whatever, 23, 24, or 25, right? So this is a very similar story of, Sant Kabir Das as well as Baba. That servant of Kabir is Jawahar Ali. That servant who served Sant Kabir Das is Jawahar Ali. When Jawahar Ali comes to Shirdi, takes Baba and calls him his disciple, calls him his chela, takes him to Rahata, see the traits of that Muslim servant of Kabira, who was extremely fundamentalist and narrow-minded, very, very skewed opinions about religions and supremacy of the religion that which he was born into. All these things, same traits. It doesn't change so easily. That person was born as Jawahar Ali. Jawahar Ali, when he comes back and when he takes Baba as his chela, whatever Kabir had made a promise to that Muslim servant of his, he fulfills. Please remember, when your guru tells you something or promises you something or makes a commitment to you, he will never ever let you down. He will never, please be rest assured that whatever he has stated, committed, or assured is going to happen. There is no chance that will go without being fulfilled. Be rest assured, be certain, be sure. So that person was born as Jawahar Ali. True to his words and promises, which he had made as Kabira, Baba goes with him, serves him. He says, and another most important thing, a guru never keeps rinas. Never. Not about the worldly things, but especially when there is a spiritual commitment. A guru never keeps rinas. Spiritual rinas, basically, those obligations. When that man had served Kabir, that same man was served by Baba as a chela, and he washes his obligations. Even God has obligations, they say in Shastras. So that man comes as Jawahar Ali and Baba serves him. And then rest is a story as we just heard. But what happens? Here they say that as per Bhagat Malasapati, he says that this boy, 23-year-old boy, Devidas, he calls Jawahar Ali for a debate on religious matters, on religious subjects. Tarka, Chintan, Manthan was always a regular practice those days. And he defeats him in an argument. And Jawahar Ali fled Shirdi. What actually happened was Jawahar Ali was made aware of the previous commitment of Sant Kabir Das to his disciple. And that same Kabira, born as Sainatha, and that servant or the disciple of Kabir, born as Jawahar Ali, and he said, "You had said you will not believe in reincarnations or rebirths. Here you go." And when he touches his forehead, Jawahar Ali sees the whole past, then he realizes, my God, what a mistake I have made. What a sin I have committed. That's when Baba says, no, you haven't committed a sin. You haven't made a mistake. You are nice. You are a great person. You used to recite Quran without even touching it. Every word from the beginning till end, then also. You can do it now also. It's the same thing. You are the same. Things don't change so easily. Now, my obligation with you is over. Don't worry. You move. You leave. So that is when Jawahar Ali leaves Shirdi, goes to Bijapur. He had a group of disciples himself. He performs penance. He realizes the truth. Then he comes back to Shirdi, takes the blessings of Baba, embraces Baba as his guru, falls at his feet, and then he leaves Shirdi. That is the true story of Jawahar Ali, right? And also, we need to, um, look at another thing, another takeaway is even when a master is called a disciple or a chela, he serves you like one. He serves you like a servant. There are examples to that. When Ghora Kumbhar, his story is there it's very popular in Maharashtra. When his hands are chopped, he is disabled, he is not able to do his day-to-day work, he can't do anything. Vithala comes as a servant and serves Ghora Kumbhar and his whole family as a family servant. Doesn't make the God dropping from his position or his stature. That is how the divine is. Even when this Vithala, the named after Vithala, one of the disciples, why he got the name Panduranga gets the name Vithala is because Vit is eat in Marathi. One of his disciples, Vithala goes to his house, and that disciple is looking after and serving his parents. And Vithala calls him, Panduranga calls him. Then this boy throws a brick and he says that you sit on it or stand on it, wait for me. So Panduranga stands on that eat, which in Marathi is called as eat, wit. And this boy never looks at him again. He is busy serving his parents and he moves on. Even to this day, Panduranga is standing on that eat or wit and waiting for this boy to come back. That is why he is called as Vithala or Vithoba. That is how the divine serves the disciples. Guru serves his disciples to that extent. So it is not something which we should be surprised that Baba served Jawahar Ali. There was a past connection, there was a Radhanabandha, and also Guru is known to serve his disciple at every level without any hesitation. So that is the story of Jawahar, right? This completes the chapter 5 of Shri Sai Satcharitra. Sai Ram.